Alright, happy Thursday everybody. I hope you've had yourself a good day. Hope you had a good Wednesday. Today was pretty good. Got quite a bit of stuff done today. If you guys tune into my Instagram, Facebook, you'll see that I actually was doing some more work on the Cessna 182. Doing some more teardown, getting some old avionics stuff removed from there. Wasn't sure if I was going to be on time tonight. We had some tax stuff we were working on and whatnot, getting everything put together because it is tax season. So, but anyway, like I said, good day today. Night weather was nice. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to work on some more gesture drawing and maybe come up with some more character stuff. We'll maybe do a little bit of inking and work on some of our other whips that we have, or work in progresses. For those that don't know what whip stands for, some of our keyboard, not savvy keyboard shortcut type our acronyms. So anyway, this is what we worked on the other day. We're going to do another one. We'll play with that and put this off to the side. We'll probably ink that in a little bit. So, but yeah, you come in, you want to chat, tell me how you're doing, what's going on for the day, what's been happening with you guys. Let me grab a page. I've got 2 pages here. I use a Bristol paper. It's got a nice thickness to it. I don't have to have multiple sheets, because if you use like little printer paper, you can use printer paper. It's no big deal. It's not like there's anything special about this paper. It's just I don't have to stack up a whole bunch on there. And my table is at an angle. That's the reason why it does slide sometimes. You'll see it and just move on its own. It's because my table is sitting up at an actual slight angle, so that way I'm not looking straight down and hunched down on it. So, got my glove on. Let's see here. Let's pop open this first. I don't know. What should we do for the first gesture? Should we do this guy? This guy I came across this evening, and I thought he looks pretty impressive. Pretty neat looking position and gesture on it. I like that one. Hey, Brian. Howdy, brother. Hope everything's going well with you. But I like this one. Or maybe it was doing this one. This one we might actually do something pretty cool with. It's got a nice perspective on it for some foreshortening. So we'll come up with, we'll do 1 or 2 of these others that we'll pick on. Maybe we'll do this one first for the gesture on it. Crazy Quilter, hey, how you doing? I hope everything's going well with you. I remember you telling me you had a little bit of sinus issues. I'm hoping that's clearing up and getting rectified. So, but anyway, let's hanging in. Had physical therapy again. Good. Does that seem to be helping you out, Brian? So, for you that missed in case you missed us Tuesday, Crazy Quilter, we did a gesture drawing, and then we looked up an outfit on Pinterest and put it to it to come up with our new character. And this might actually be, I might actually use her as a mascot. So, new character we created. So I got her scanned. We're probably going to do a little bit of, maybe we'll do some digital coloring on it on the stand-up desk, and maybe we'll add her in. See if, who knows, maybe we'll add her in, separate her, split her, and put her onto an animate type program to where we can actually 2D animate her for a little bit. So anyway, let's go ahead and we'll work on this gesture drawing right now. This gesture drawing, this is a pretty neat feeling of a picture. Not really sure if my leg still hurts on and off like before in the middle of the night. My back seems to be a bit better the past week. That's good. Well, it takes some time to get nerves back into order. So we're going to start with, get ourselves a nice circle area here for that. And what I see on this picture over here is from the shoulder to the other shoulder is a triangle, kind of like a triangle, like a perspective type triangle down to the hands. So we're probably going to use that to get our basic generic piece that we're looking for. We're going to probably bring it down that way and up this way. That way we'll get a nice foreshortening piece to it. We got more on this side than this side that you'll see the way it looks like for the picture. So we can actually show a little bit of the arch. Now we kind of have that laid out. And then of course we'll have the 2 legs sets for it. We can do the simple thing for the face to the eyes. We'll run face this way and of course across. So that way we have gotta have the cranium. Don't forget to give people a cranium. Yeah, they told me it could take a really long time. Insurance paid 35 total sessions a year, so hoping to resolve it with that. It's self-pay is probably crazy expensive. Yeah, it might be crazy expensive, but hey, at least it'll work out. You're not too bad. You'll be okay, brother. It takes some time, and once you get yourself into a routine on things, it shouldn't be too bad. So let's kind of, we'll map this out a little bit better. Just working in a little bit. Give an eye that way and an eye over here. And of course the nose, be about that height. Lips. Alright, and we'll have the area for the rib cage down. So that means we'll probably run it down to here, because we're the same area where the elbows are going to be. Yeah, it probably wasn't good that I couldn't do it for a few weeks, but now I'm back in the groove. It should be better. Yeah, it's okay. It's not too bad. You know, it's not like you're staying away from it too long. So the way the rib cage is going to be, we're going to run that through here. It runs through. And we can actually do the clavicle, the little triangle section here. Kind of get that mapped in as well. Alright, so of course we'll have the neckline to run down in. So we'll have that runs through there to there. This is kind of a complex one. True, could have been longer. Yep, this is going to be kind of a complex piece to it because of the whole foreshortening and everything, because as you can see the way the length of the upper arm to the lower arm. But you're still going to match to the same area because like the elbows run just below the rib cage, just right at the rib cage area and stuff. So what we'll do is we'll do the shoulder. Over there, and we'll do the shoulder here. That's the other nice thing you can see with the curvature on the see if I can point over to it. The curvature on the back side, you can see that the shoulders are rolled a little bit. That's the reason why there's that sort of curvature also. And the nice thing with the clothing on it is you can see some of the wrinkles and stuff like here in the armpit. You can see that that's pulled forward. That's why it's all bunched in. So that's another good thing that goes with that. So we're going to use that to our advantage to map it out. And of course the hands are going to be about here. So we'll do one hand this way because we'll use our positioning for basically the foreshortening of it, because the hips will probably run right about here. This will be the top box of the hips. So we'll don't need to make them that big. So we'll run that, clear that out a little bit. This is how we're going to map them out. So we'll run it that way. And of course here we always have our little circle area here because this is the abdominal area. It kind of allows things to roll around and move on. And it's got a good foreshorten. It shows to that, and then from there you're actually going to have the legs that will come on, that will spawn off here. So when they're cylinders, slowly going further away, that's the reason why they're going to have this more sort of type of a look like this when we look at it as a cylinder. So we'll do the same thing off this side. And even though we're not going to see most because it's going to get covered up by the arms, like this shoulder area is going to probably run to about there, and then it's going to curl itself in. So here's the rib area, so we'll have the shoulder portion here. We'll run it up to the shoulder. Thank you for liking the stream, Charlene. Appreciate it. Run the wrist area here because of the full foreshortening. So it's going to run down there, and then we're going to have the actual. We're going to block out the hand. And the other hand's going to be behind that one. So we'll run that way. We got this shouldered, and it's got just you can see just a hint of this arm, so but we'll still have it showing in here because it is still going to run towards the front. So we're going to do that. We got our areas for the legs. Kind of has a little bit of a curvature in. Let's see if we can, maybe that audio a little bit too loud. Maybe we'll bring it down about there. Let me check my audio on my side. It might be just my headphones are a little bit up. Oh yeah, my headphones are up. There we go. Okay, so, and of course we're going to have the same thing with the feet. Shoot the foot in. See how they kind of have like a little bit of an angle in and to each other. So we want to get that foot off of that area also. And of course we'll run it up. Get this from the same way. And kneecap about here. Kneecap's about there for that one. Alright, we got the basic layout for the person now. Let's see if we can give her a little bit of life to her. Oh, let's start adding on some details. So we also got the ear. So the ear we'll want to put up here. Okay. So we got the shoulder line here as well. So we're going to want to, this will add the breasts. And it kind of has a hunch, so it's going to be kind of curved in a little bit. So we're going to have a slight curve this way. This is the sternum area. Alright, so let's see if we can see if we, this expression actually looks pretty good too, so maybe we'll add that. Maybe you can actually hit this expression a little bit. Alright, so we'll have that. Okay. Let's see here. Up. What you doing, doggo? You're getting in all my goodies, knocking, pulling out wiring and stuff. Doggo's going a little nuts. Get this cable pushed off to the side. There we go. See if we can get this working right. All right. And of course we'll have, can't be afraid to give her a nose, so we're going to map out the nose area. There we are. And of course we'll have this light area down here. This will be the top areas of the lips. A little bit of the chin area. This one's going to have a soft curve down. Got a little bit of a rounded face. I had to log in because of a new location I'm in. Good evening. Good evening, Frontier Man. Hope everything's going well with you. Alright. So we're getting it laid out nicely on this. Now, I'll take my new kneaded eraser. As you can tell, the nice brand new one versus an old one. You can see the color difference. This guy's been used quite a bit. So with this one, we're just going to pat it. What's nice with this And that way it just lightens the lines to where we can come back over and do some nice cleanup. Okay. So let's get some of the, let's work some of this hair out in there. Of these bangs running over. We'll probably have a there we go. A little bit of run this way. So, now, got quite a bit of stuff going on. Let's see, maybe we'll bump this audio down a little bit more. Keep it in the green. There we go. That works. Alright. I know we've got quite a bit of stuff happening. We've been doing tax stuff and taking care of airplanes and trying to get all sorts of stuff put together in motion. Of course, we've got Valentine's Day coming up, so been working on some little products for that as well. Got some 3D products I'm actually been printing out, and I'm going to start working on them. Unfortunately, I can't video that stuff yet because there's for a couple of people, so that ain't happened yet. Okay, so we got this. Run it down there. Alright, so we have the basic for that. I think maybe we'll give her a different outfit though. Haven't quite decided yet. Maybe we'll come up with a new outfit area. But I do like the face. The face does look pretty good. So let's go ahead and we'll run that with it. Let's see here. Let's very bright-eyed. Work this eye in right. Let's see. Got somebody making all sorts of racket out there. Kind of interesting having somebody with their eye that big that you see the whites on the top. Usually it's a little bit lower down, so that's why the expression looks a little unique. So let's run that. Of course, we're also doing the same thing for the eye distance. Over here, it's usually not one eye distance in between for the two. Nice little look to it. There we go. So anybody going to watch the Super Bowl next week? I know my boss is because he's a Kansas City Chiefs fan. He's been saying he's gotten been some haters though. He said there have been people not happy with the Chiefs, I guess, winning it. I guess the last game was a little interesting, they were saying. Does that feel right, or does it need to be? It's a little over. Maybe let's give that a. Absolutely not. Hate football. Yeah, they've kind of made a bad dampening on that thing. Let's see if we can bring it over that way. That might make it look a little better. Seen your short video on YouTube day working on the airplane. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, no. Yeah, we're pulling more. We got the one KX 155 pulled out of it, and we're got the wiring relocated for the COM 1 to the COM 2. So guys, we're reusing one of the radios, but it's changing its position. Never liked it. I don't like watching guys knock each other to the ground again. Told no football, no military, no motorcycles, and they stuck with that. Let's see, this might actually look a little better if it goes a little bit smoother. Yeah, it's a bit better. It's being smoothed out like that. There we go. She was in band and saw someone end up paralyzed in the high school football team, so that's what made her tell us no football. It scared her to death. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's very susceptible to injuries. I'm a biker myself. I haven't rode for a while, but I've been a motorcycle fan for a long time. Rode them quite a bit. You kind of have to have a little bit of leverage either way for different decisions on things like that. I had quite a bit of fun on the motorcycles when I did ride them, so had my fun with it. Don't really have too much on it, any desire right now. I need to post. We did a shakedown video. I'm going to post that also, by the way, guys, of flying the shakedown of the Cardinal that we've been doing restoration work on. We took it up and flew it for a little bit, so I got a little bit of video of that. So I got to post that stuff also. I haven't done that yet. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is cool. It's always cool when you get a chance to get up, and of course it's always good to be able to show the video on that, because a lot of people don't see the end result. I think I need to give her a little more of a chin. So let's see that. Work it down here. Maybe we'll give her. Let's see about giving a little bit more on that. I think we do that. Smooth it out. Let's see if that changing that line up from there to there actually will do a good job on that. That chin fills out a little bit better. I think it does. So let's stick with it down there. Here we go. What type of outfit should we give her? Oh, maybe we'll just stick with the outfit we got. We're just kind of doing a little sketching on that, goofing off. The one thing with the only downside with the video we're doing the shakedown stuff is it's not like it's plugged into the comm radios to where you can't hear all the chatter and everything that we're talking about as we're going through it. It's just kind of like a little bit of just a little fun. She's looking awesome. Yep, we're slowly getting her around to it. So we might actually, I think this part here we need to change over a little bit more. Give it more of a angle in. Yep, I think that's what we need to do. Give it a little more of an angle in. And we will so we got that. That's not looking too shabby there. Just kind of has a little t-shirt going on here, so we want to and let's see, this will be another good central point. Throw for her shirt. She's looking awesome. Thanks, Brian. Your caption to feel really good. Well, thank you, Frontier Man. Yeah, we're trying to. That's where this is kind of more of a challenging one because, like I said, it's not just simply a gesture drawing. It's a perspective along with the gesture drawing. So we're actually doing foreshortenings. We actually are imitating like a perspective piece to it at the same time. So, and there's some things that I don't like about it already, but we're gonna work with it. So let's see if I can do a couple of adjustments here. Yeah, didn't like that. Changed it out too much. Just not feeling that corner. Doesn't feel quite right. Let's see if I can. And part of it is the actual focal positioning. That feels a little better. But we're having a little bit of it's got like a little bit of a lens, a focal blur, a lens to it. So, or not blur, but distortion is the big thing. So that's why some of it, when you try to draw it, it comes out looking a little off center because it's actually got a little bit of a curve to it. So we need to actually run this guy. Run it over like that a little bit more. Yeah, that looks better. That's starting to feel more. I feel a little bit better. I feel more like the face is actually rounding correctly. All right. Okay, so let's. Everything's got to look like it's dropping off also in there. So we're going to run that. It's got. Doesn't really have much on this side full buttoned open. This one does have a little bit here, so we'll. And of course she's got creases for where the shirt is actually pulled in. And of course, we have, wow, sort of a crease area where the shirt is pulled forward on this. And you can actually see how it kind of runs out because of the way it's bunched. It's a little hard to see with the way the sleeve is, being it's got stripes on the sleeve. And you can actually see the tension on the outer part, how tight that is on the outside of the arm. And then we have in here where it kind of bunches in. And she got it down to her elbow. So the out portion has the tension on it, where the inside of it has it tight on it. Okay, same thing for over here. We'll run this. We'll run that up a little bit to here. So we need to kind of play with this a little bit more to where it looks like her hair is definitely resting on her shoulder a little bit. You're making her look better than the picture. Oh, well, thank you, Ann. We're just, some of it you guys gotta adjust out and we'll play with it a little bit. Sometimes you'll stylize it. I usually like to pick like my own outfit material and stuff, but this doesn't look too bad. It's kind of giving me like an old 80s Ninja Turtle April O'Neil type feel. Like she should be in a yellow jumpsuit instead, with holding the microphone, like she's ready to see what the old Ninja Turtles are going to be up to. That's some old childhood stuff there. Have a little bit of a bunch up where her arms push through. Might do is with the other guy, you could be a great plastic surgeon. Yeah, no. Let's see. So we got that. Here's the wrist. Let's see if we can get her hand put up this way. Got a slight area for the deviation. The thumb's actually the thumb's coming up over the top instead of around, which is interesting, but some people do that with their hands. So we're just going to give a couple areas for the fingers that way, and then there's this wrist. The other wrist is here. So we'll run that out for her other hand there. And let's see. What we need to do is we need to give a little bit more on the actual foreshortening of the leg. That way it doesn't have too much of a curve to it. Her kneecap sits in here. Looks like she's got like a spandex on. So, got some yoga pants. Money. Nah, I don't know how I'd feel cutting on somebody, actually. That'd be weird. Don't mind doing it to inanimate objects, making things look a certain way, but let's go ahead and got the ankle and the shoe. Let's see if we can give these a neat little stylized type shoe. We'll run this. This is the basic area for the laces. And we want to give a run through. Give a little shoelaces running off to the side here, and just kind of give a little generic little give. And we'll do the same thing here. Looks like she's got, this one was pretty flat, but if you look at the other one, on the bottom side of it, you can feel almost like she's got some weight on rounded out on the outside of the foot. So that one's got like a little bit of push, almost like it's squeezing out, so it's got a little bit of tension. So it's something neat. The Lord gives you the feel like she's actually got one foot rounded to where she's on the blade of her foot. And this is kind of just kind of rolled up that way. Of course, we'll give it one lace, second lace, and that way, put those laces off to the side. And we'll give alright, so we're getting ours flushed out there. It actually doesn't look too bad. Nice little piece to it. And why don't we hit that one? Let's go ahead, and what we'll do is we'll close that one out, and we'll go to this guy. We'll do a stylized one of him. We might actually work with something a little bit different. We might take him. He kind of has some nice sharpness to him. We might actually stylize him and give him some more sharp angles on stuff on it. She turned out great. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, she did turn out good. We'll do some more detail work on her as we go. But we'll get another one jammed out here. So him, even though it's going to look like we're going to use straight lines, we're still going to have a little bit of a curve to it. You never really want to do it just straight. So let me, I got to pop them up over here on my monitor, so I have them. Grab some water while it's opening up. So you guys been doing any drawing lately? Anything interesting? Been working or creating anything interesting? Let's see. This guy looks pretty good. Got a nice, neat, slick look to him. Almost kind of like a James Bondish feel. So, and let's give him his. So we got the head area, his neck. Well, let's give him where the side for the cranial area here. So that means his neck's going to run off of this. And let's swoop him down. Working very loosely with this also. So not quite a total profile to it, not a completely side. He's still got a slight little bend. You can see just a hint of the eye, so like his center will be still there. So of course we'll have a simple shoulder. Looks like Looks like the right shoulder, the far away shoulder, is slightly elevated because you can tell also by the elbows, the way the right elbow is pushed up. It's might be rolled forward a little bit, not so much higher. So we'll work with off of that. So and you see how his chin to where his shoulder is, so we want to run the shoulder line this way. So, which will give us our rib cage. So this is the back section of the rib cage because we're seeing more of a back side of it. So the shoulder, and the where it runs up, makes the triangle, your trapezius, runs down, that's the other shoulder. So we've got the shoulder line area here. And of course from there, we gotta do the hip area. Looks like his left hip's jutted out just a tiny bit, so we'll run that this way. We'll run that. So have the ball. So this one will run there, this one will run up this way for that front line for the front rib part of the rib cage. Back of the ribs, we're a little bit low on that. Of course, he's going to have this shoulder blade. It's actually going to probably be not so far forward, it's going to be back. See how I kind of have this matching to the front for the chest there? So in order to get that look, instead of it looking like his shoulders dropped, we need to bring it up back here. That way it looks like he's got it pulled back because the actual shoulder blade is going to be tight up against the spine area. So, see the difference now? Now you can see the sort of the profile of the rib cage. So, and of course his elbow is going to come straight down from here to the back, just below the rib. And then this is going to go down to his, you want to run that to about here. But he's got it to the front, so he's going to have this. It's going to run up to here. This is going to be the here. And this elbow to this elbow is going to have a slight elevation on it, so he's actually going to be pulled out a little bit. So his elbow is actually going to come pulled out here. And then we're going to give him the same similar piece to it. Okay. And it looks like he's got his hip areas, legs kind of going, one goes down, one's that way. So we've got the spine area, this is the buttocks, or the glutes. Glute kind of comes up, rolls up also the top part of the hip here, because this is the other part of the legs that actually run out. Back part of the quadricep, or the hamstring. It's back part of the quadricep, but it's the hamstring is what it's called. And we're going to have wrist, hand, got elbow area there. You can actually see the elbows on that because of the tension that's pulling on that jacket. So we're going to keep that point for that elbow. Run it that way. And then the way this guy runs going to run up. To that effect. To the back. We're going to give the aggressive curve. So not quite as sharp as he has on it. As you can tell, we're getting a little bit further away from it. And this is where, if you work on him this way, this is why you always want to practice this, because as you can tell, I still tried, my eye was trying to make him straight and trying to keep him balanced, where he's actually, the reason why his pose is great is because he's more imbalanced. So let's give this another shot. Now we can make a comparison. And what we're going to do is we're going to try it where we did it this way, where we broke it down in the shapes. Now we're going to work on the main lines of it first, and we're going to find out what works out better for grabbing the dynamic pieces of it, the dynamic figure itself. So, because this came out nice, but it's not giving that very tense feel of it, like he's definitely like slicked back. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to work more on not so much the body itself and making sure it matches, but we're going to actually catch that piece to where it kind of does this. We're going to catch that arch to where his shoulders are, and we're going to actually bring it just to these for the basic lines of it. So we're going to bring this guy to where we grab just the basics. Let's see how this works out by just following it this way. See, we need to bring that up a little bit higher up here. Putting his waist too low. So we'll put his waist up here. Got a little bit of a twist in it. So by focusing more, you see, just by simply doing that and not focusing so much on all of that aspect of trying to get the body to make it proportion stuff, and we're focusing more on the actual position itself, we're able to get more of that curve in it, not so straight. It makes it a little bit more of an exaggerated piece. So now let's work from that. Alright, let's see if we can make him kind of stylized. Let's see. Sorry about that. Had to mute the mic real quick, got a cough. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can do this right. said, we're going to make this a little more of a stylized piece. What you want? What is it, my doggo? Do you need to go potty? Is that what it is? 1 second, guys. Let me let my dog go. Take a break. Alright, sorry about that. Had to let the dog go out. So, let's get back to this guy. Alright. So this is more of a stylized piece where you're kind of just, you're not focusing too much, more just kind of getting the feeling of it out of it. So it doesn't exactly match all the pieces that you're wanting. You usually would try to get it to where it looks so anatomically correct. You're just more getting the feel of it. And that's why sometimes stylized pieces end up allowing it to bend the rules a bit, but you're still able to feel. She looks amazing. I'm going to hop in the shower and be back soon. Alright, bro. I'll see you in a few, brother. Got his coat bunched up over around his arms, so his tails are kind of spread out here. And of course, tension points. He's going to have it's going to run down. Alright, let's swap over from my mechanical pencil. Let's actually use my my Durant pencil. Let's see, maybe we can maybe we'll get a little bit of, let's try and just work with the side of it and see if maybe we can get some little bit of darkness in here. This guy up and over. Always good to follow and match up some of these darker shadow areas and whatnot. Kind of brings some more to the plate. Now the backside here only has a little bit of an outer glow because of the way the darkness is. All the shadows are around there. So we have more dark, except for around the edges of it. So the inner portion of it's dark. So it's got that rim glow to it. course, areas where the pinched or where the closest will have darkest spots, where their things are tight together. You can see that in almost any type of art or piece that will show that. There we go. A stylized piece to match to them. February already, February 2nd, 2023. Alright, quick little stylized piece to match to that guy. Not bad. Alright, we've been doing some gesture drawing stuff. It was pretty fun. Let's, well, we hit a cartoon, kind of loosen things back up again and a little more free spirit and all that. Not have to do all sorts of... Let's pop that closed. Let's see, we not doing a cartoon character. Would be a neat cartoon character we haven't. Let's see here. Oops. Let's take a peek here. Maybe it would be a neat cartoon character we could do. Let's see. It's funny, as we were watching actually on YouTube just the other day, came up, we were talking about old TV game shows and stuff, and we came up with Win, Lose, or Draw. My wife was saying that was a favorite of hers. It was a favorite of mine too. I love doing that stuff. Let's see, cartoon characters. Let's see. Let's find something that we'll do a cartoon character on. And let's see here. We'll just do a couple. Yeah, that could work. How about we'll do do a Disney one first. We'll do Kim Possible. So, Kim Possible. Pretty simple. Let's see here. We'll got a nice oval head. And we'll have, it'll be the front, it'll be the eye area here. And let's see here. Gonna have the neck. Neck's gonna be stylized. And let's see. We'll want to get. Got a small torso. Small waist area. And simple. Kind of has like those baggy pants, so we'll just kind of map that out. And they usually have so do it that way. Foot, we'll have one like so, one like so. So we'll go that way, and of course down to here. Other one will be there. Run it out that way, and then this one will come down. So we got 1, 2, 3.5 heads tall. That's close. She's typically, I think she's 4. I think she's 4 heads tall, so she's got this body's just slightly short. We could probably shrink the head down a tiny bit, but what we'll do is we'll use this one for like the hair area on it, and then what we'll do is we'll give her head slightly a smaller feel to it right around in here. Because her hair is much larger. There we go. And we'll give this as a point of reference here. That way it'll run up. And her hair kind of whips around to the back. And from there, okay.
Yo.
Let's see. So about here. Oh, maybe a little further over. Yeah, about there's right. And that means we'll want to bring her hair a little bit further away because it just catches at the tiny bit of her hair, of her eye. Let's see. Run it up a little bit, be a little bit of a, just got a little bottom lip. It's got a little area for her chin as well. Might actually ring that up a little bit higher. And let's just matte on this a little bit. Trying to do it a little bit darker so you guys can see it, and at the same time not making it too rough to where it's not digging in too hard. So okay, so of course our eyebrow going to be up here. We're going to come across. We're going to give, let's bring that nose over a little bit further. still a little more of a profile, so it's going to come over a little bit more. That feels a little bit better actually now that we did that. Let's get rid of one eyebrow there. Like so. And let's that feels a little bit more like her. There we go. That's looking more like it. Grab my little electric eraser. Hopefully I got some juice in her. Yeah, we do. Get that little area line up nice and tight. That's more like it. And let's see here. So just got a little turtleneck going on, so let's do that. And let's map out these skeletons that we created here. She's got a little bit of meat on her bones, so after all, she's athletic. And we need to give a piece there. Kind of slender build. So that runs in for the ab area and it comes down for the waist. Okay. And over here we're going to want to run this. It's got a little chest below the shoulder line. Don't want them sitting up. Breasts sit down here below the shoulder line. They don't sit up high. So even for cartoon characters. Got the little belly button. Okay. And curved area for the long sleeve. Stylized finger layouts. Slight curve around for the three for that, and then we got the one here, the one finger that sticks up a little bit. wearing her gloves on, so. I'm back. New gal looking good. Yeah, no, I'll show you, Brian. We started working on cartoon stuff. We did her, which was more realistic type feel. Then we did I showed the difference between the stylized man and where if you're trying to do that sometimes and not have such extreme angles, you notice how it started to straighten them out. So we wanted to do it more stylized, so we gave more of an extreme piece to it. So to get more of a stylized feel out of that one. And now we figured we'd just loosen up and just do some cartoon stuff. Goof off a little bit with that. So we're doing Kim Possible for right now. Then we'll move on to another one. I just typed in cartoon characters and she was the first thing that popped up, so that's what we'll work with. So we got the little circle here for the other shoulder. We'll run her up. That looks great. Sounds like a plane. Yep. So we have that. So we've got a little bit for the elbow, and we'll keep that little curve, that nice curve in. It gives a nice shape to it. And here we'll do the same thing with that. We'll give her a little bit of her forearm. And let's run that up. And of course we got to give her show for her sleeve on this side. And what we'll do here is we will give the tall for the first finger, and then we'll drop it down a little bit to where you can see all the to where all the other fingers will kind of fall into place. Like that. Then we got to put her glove on, or the back part of her glove. And let's see here. Have yeah, about that angle. That angle should do fine for the pants. Kind of interesting. Her pants kind of balloon out and then have they do like a little, almost like a little squiggle for how it connects on. So now we need to go here. I said this is a very stylized drawing. I even know who she is. She's from it's a Disney. She did Disney. I think it was the 90s. She was a cartoon that they did called Kim Possible. I think they actually later on in 2000s they actually did a live action and stuff. I don't know how well that one turned out. I never watched it, but the cartoon one was pretty good. It wasn't bad at all. This way, run her hair up. Kind of has it was nice because they kind of like brought back like an older stylized piece, which made it look really cool. Kind of almost had a Jetsons feel to it, which was pretty neat. Let's see if we can give these, she kind of has a little, she's got these lines that run, that follow around. For her hair, it's very simplistic. They got a nice motion to them. That, and then there's one that ran a little bit higher up. So like that. To a point. That's cool. Well, most of the cartoon characters the last 20 so years. I only don't watch cartoons. I've seen a few animated movies about it. Listen to your daughter telling me I must see much, see such and such. Yeah, I tell you what is funny. There was an animated one that we watched recently that actually Mel Brooks actually did, and it was hilarious because it's sort of like he did it because everybody said like his old Blazing Saddles movie that that of course had all sorts of innuendos and humor and stuff in it, and some of it was had some funny racial stuff that was purposely put in there just to push the envelope for it and just to show how humorous it was. And they said, oh, you wouldn't be able to do that nowadays and stuff. So he literally made a cartoon called what was it? Kung Fu: The Legend of Hank. My daughter, we saw it as a preview, and she thought that was absolutely hilarious. And I was like, man, that kind of feels familiar. And after we watched the movie, because when it came out, we watched it. We ordered it for home, and we watched it, and it literally was a remake of Blazing Saddles in China instead of out west. And it had the same funny, hilarious bits that they said that you wouldn't be able to do nowadays, because of the whole woke everything. I was like, that was hilarious that he went and he dared to do it, and I thought that was awesome. And it was a good story. I mean, it actually ended up being a pretty good movie too. I thought it was pretty cool. But it was hilarious how you start watching it and you go, no way, he actually did that. He actually put that. He actually put that bit in there. Oh, it was so funny. It was actually kind of refreshing to see that type of humor still, still going around. So let's see. She's got her one utility pocket. Ink this one. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab a big ink. Maybe we'll do 0.4. See how my 0.4 is. Well, I think he's incredible. I may have to watch it someday to support him for doing that. Yeah, he basically was like, no problem, and just jammed that sucker out, and I was like, that is absolutely hilarious. Kung Fu: The Legend of Hank. Samuel L. Jackson's even in it, or did one of the voices in it. So, but oh yeah, it was hilarious. So if you've ever watched Blazing Saddles and you kind of miss seeing some of that funny humor type stuff and the lightness of the humor in it, it's there. He redid it, and it's there in its glory. I thought it was great. There we go. chance to. I love people like them. It's like a few of my country singers when coronavirus is the big thing made songs making fun of wearing masks and such, or make videos. A ton of people right next to each other, so would do concerts in places that allowed them and didn't force to wear a mask. Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay for somebody to be offended by something. That's no problem. You can be offended by it, but that doesn't mean that it's bad or wrong just because you take offense to it. So, yeah. It's like some of the movies. There's some movies I find them offensive. But I just don't watch them. I choose not to watch them. I'm like, yeah, they ended up not being something that I liked. And that's that. Doesn't mean there's not somebody else that might like it. If that's the case, hey, go for it. But to try and make everybody follow that same thing just because you feel butthurt about something or feel offended by something, yeah, that isn't right. Exactly. You shouldn't drum it down everyone's face. That's right. What you want, and don't watch what you don't want to. Listen to what you like, and don't listen to what you. It's nonsense the way some of these people are. That's right. I think it's perfectly fine that, like I said, if you don't like something, fine, no big deal. But don't try to make it everybody else should have to be offended by it too, because they just might not feel that way, and sometimes. The reason why they might not have said anything is because, well, they just didn't want to hurt your feelings because they care about you. Or they just didn't want to have to listen to you because they're afraid you'd been one of those type of peoples that would just get yelly and frustrated with everything, and they don't want to have to deal with it. So they just go, yeah, let them go ahead and rant and rave. And that be that. So... Dick's Chicks, now they call themselves the Chicks because, well, Dixie's offensive. I don't know what's so offensive about Dixie. Trashed Bush overseas when he was president. I don't agree with them. I still listen to music because I like their music. Their opinion isn't going to change me liking their music. It's silly. Yeah. Evidently they found something offensive about the music group name that they created and picked, so I don't know. I guess that's them having to make their own decision on what they feel about it, but... oh well. Doesn't change the aspect of things. So I just think it's funny how people get in such frustrated feelings because somebody else they know doesn't feel the same way, and they almost get upset at that. I'm like, well, you know what? You shouldn't be upset because somebody doesn't have the same viewpoint as you do. So, shouldn't frustrate you just because they are different. Because guess what we all are. Yeah, there's something about slavery or something, I think, but I can't remember. It's something about Dixie. Yeah. What's next? Ban Dixie cups just because, they have Dixie in them, even though they're just paper cups. That's the funny thing about that, the knee-jerk reaction. Oh, ban it. Why? Because it used the word. You use words every day that could be offensive to other people. I mean, you got to ban you? That just doesn't make sense. Don't get it. ridiculous things. So it's always that thing to it. Everybody forgets that if they play devil's advocate sometimes with themselves and say, you know, is there stuff that I'm saying that people might think that's kind of retarded or not that great? You know, well, that might be the case. Maybe if you find, I think the other thing is you get these people that are just offended by so much stuff, and they got so much of these issues that they're offended by, and it's like, you know, maybe if you're finding so much stuff offensive, it's not all that stuff around you. It might be you. You know, or it could be, you know, look where you're putting yourself. You know, because yeah, there's some places that just may not be the right area to be sitting around at. So, but it's just, I don't know. Of course, I could just see that some woke person happened to be coming across, oh, let's check out this drawing website, let's check out this drawing live stream. Oh, he's talking about stuff that's offending me and frustrating me. We should have him banned. Why? Because it's the way I feel? You know. It's, how selfish of me. Let's only focus on your feelings. You know. You're the one that stepped in on my conversation. So. That's the funny part. Country group lately, Antebellum changed their name to Lady A due to antebellum being some building that I think had to do with slavery or something, or rather too. It's dumb, all the offensive nonsense. It really is. Yeah. We should ban the world. Why? Because the world had slavery in it. Why look on a micro thing? Look on a macro. Let's just ban the world. You know. Oh, slavery is bad. Those, I get it. But what's also funny is they're like, oh, white people are bad. Why? Because they bought slaves. Well, who do you think picked them up from the other country? You think it was a bunch of white people went over there? There was black people bringing their own people over and stuff doing that as well. Not that it was right, but that was happening too. So, but they got to have some sort of agenda. Slavery, yeah, it was crap. It always is. But we're all slaves. When you look at it. Put it that way. You know, we're slaves to our jobs. We're slaves to taxes. We're slaves to the government. We get taxed so many times. Yeah. So, but they got to pick one thing. That's what I never understood. It's like, you know, if you point at one, you got to make sure that it's just one issue. Because, you know... But, you know, what I find is hilarious is that you watch some of these older shows, or like take George Carlin, for instance. George Carlin was a great comedian, but he was very smart and witty about what his material was and what he researched. And I think it's hilarious how for the longest time he knew already, it's dumbing down of America and everything. And you watch some of his live shows and stuff, and yeah, it's supposed to be funny, haha, and everybody laughs and stuff. But when you look at it, really listen to what he's saying, it starts to get like, oh, it ain't so funny anymore. You know, granted, yeah, we're having a good time, we're laughing and joking and saying, oh yeah, no, it wouldn't be like that, but it is. It's sort of like that movie. I was just talking with my folks about Idiocracy. Came out with David Duchovny, and I think it had Terry Crews in it, and it was like a cryogenic science experiment that went wrong, and he ends up in the future, and everybody's literally dumbed down so much because of just the way they changed the whole gamut of things for education and what was important to reality shows and all sorts, and that the place was turning into garbage, and it's like nobody could figure it out because, you know. Yes, she turned out great. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, that's Kim Possible, KP. What the heck? Why not? Let's we got a little bit of time left. Let's go ahead and pull out the color sheet and let's do a little bit of watercoloring on her. Let's see. How about NU0? Let's see if we'll do a little bit of KP color in here. bring it a little more to life. This is how I found on the Dixie Chicks. They explained privately they never wanted to be associated with the Confederacy, that they hated how that was always a connotation with their name. So why the heck did they pick it? I mean, why did you pick the Dixie Chicks? Why did you select Dixie? That's what they should have asked. Okay, well, why did you pick that name? Well, what was the meaning behind that word that you picked it for? If it wasn't for the Confederacy. If you're a bunch of Southern girls and stuff that had any type of interest in history, I understand one thing if you didn't intend it, but if you don't have don't lie about crap just to make you try and save face. Be like, yeah, no, we were Southern girls and Southern Belle and whatnot. He said, I always thought it was a region south of the Mason-Dixon line. Okay, well, south of Dixie. Okay, well, that's perfectly fine. Why should you change that? If that was what it was for, just because somebody had the wrong impression, it doesn't make it wrong. See, that's the problem. They went and took it out of somebody took the wrong connotation out of it. So, but they still shouldn't have had to change their name or felt that they had to just because somebody was all butthurt over it. That's what I don't get. They asked, they said, well, we used the word Dixie because it's south of the Mason-Dixon line. Yeah. So it's like, I think that's ridiculous. So, never quite understood that one. That was a ridiculous one. Let's do orange 4 and orange 3. Maybe we'll do 4 first. Or let's do this. Let's go. This is 4. Let's do YO2. See if we can make a neat little look for this. Let's run the yellow along this line. Being we did it all in ink, we'll see if we can add a little bit of highlight to this. The way they did the stylized on this, they actually didn't have black ink for a lot of the stuff. Like for the hair, they used like a lighter color. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to kind of give it a little bit of a glow look to it. Here's the route cruise around since I think days called Confederate Railroad, and they changed the changing vessels and such changed their mind and wouldn't let them play due to the Confederate part being their name. So they canceled the gig as they refused to change it. Yeah, well, that's that whole thing that's been happening now, the go woke, go broke thing, because people are starting to realize that it's kind of stupid listening to some people about this just because they weren't happy with it. Black Panthers was a gang for civil rights, as they put, which is fine, but at the same time, does that mean that Black Panthers all around were bad? Like you go to the zoo and ban Black Panthers? Jews was the first slaves but forgotten. Remember, they didn't want us together, divide and conquer. Domestic terrorist. Yep. Yeah. That was some pretty nasty slavery stuff there too. But like I said, it doesn't fit a certain agenda of things, so they don't bring that up a lot. Yeah, there's some that refuse to pander to it all. I remember a Black Panthers game too. Yeah, sort of like just because there's some bad things that were put with the Black Panthers, because somebody used it in a different context. Should you get rid of the comic book Black Panther? Should you, not bother having the Florida Black Panther on a I think it's still on the endangered species list. They might actually have gotten better, but it's one of those things. Is like, you guys kind of, if you look at it, takes it to a crazy, ridiculous extreme just because it's got a name to it. So that'd be like having George Bush change his last name just because it has been used as a connotation to a woman's part. So it'd be like, why change that? Yeah. It gets way too much. I think it's hilarious. Sometimes you gotta stop and listen to what you say. I had a sergeant when I was a police officer that used to say, if you're thinking about doing something, before you do it, say it out loud. I'm going to do such and such. And if it doesn't sound smart when you say it out loud, just don't do it. The same thing that goes with just what you say and speak about. You could be offended about things, but like I said, play the devil's advocate. See what other, if is it really just what in the name, or are you just mad because you're trying to get some attention on things? So, but because there'll be people that use stuff outside way it should, certain verbiages and how things should be used. But I mean, the sad thing is there's people that aren't going to get to experience some of the neat stuff that we got to experience. I mean, I remember watching Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Billy Crystal, watching these comedians, Bill Cosby even, and it was ruthless. The easiest way to put it, it was ruthless. It was hilariously ruthless, but it was still ruthless, which wasn't bad. It was still a good out. And oops, that's the wrong one. It's burgundy. We want red. Oh, maybe we'll go with the burgundy. Burgundy doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I think a lot of it is attention seeking. Yep, that's exactly right. So, attention seeking and views. It was so funny, the psychological study they did on people who do videos, sort of like what I'm doing, and they'll say or do things or put things on just to get views, just to have these certain, and it's like, you kind of, it'd be like, there's a couple of artists that they do, for granted they're amazing artists, but a lot of people like to watch artists draw what's called NSFW, or not safe for work art. And every now and then I'll get a private message about asking if I do any artwork like that. They're very, they're polite about it and whatnot. And I tell them, no, I usually don't do any of that stuff. And if you don't know what an SFW is, it's not safe for work. It's stuff that's either, now I've done nude figure drawing, but I wouldn't put it on a live stream and stuff, obviously. But, trying to get things viral or get a massive number of likes. Yeah, I get that too. So, but, I mean, at the same time, there we go. What happens is some of these artists that end up going down the road and drawing the not safe for work stuff, where they were intending to do this or that, but they get more views by something a little bit more controversial or something a little more seductive and whatnot. They start to deviate from the original path that they were going to do, or what they wanted to do, just to be able to get views, and they go that direction. Now, yeah, I could do the same thing. I could draw, provocative, not safe for work stuff, and probably pick up my viewership on it a little bit. But it's not something that I just enjoy dishing out or drawing. That's the thing. I enjoy this is sort of like my rehab at the same time. So, but in order for things to go viral, it sometimes gets a little awry and misconstrued on things. Racism is a tool to keep us divided. That's correct. There's lots of tools that are implemented to keep us divided on things. A VPN is a beautiful tool because it allows you to look at websites that you wouldn't have access to. It's kind of funny when they go, well, they don't hide access of websites to us Americans. Well, yeah, they do. You watch a news station from another country, and it's funny some of the stuff that they report, and you're like, wow. Interesting goodies. And this is the other thing. I like that we can chat about anything we want on here. There's some people, they have in their rules for chat that you can't talk about religious stuff or political viewpoint and whatnot. And I just have it to where everybody just kind of be, don't need to be nastier to each other. You can put each other's views on, but if you have a different opinion, you can just say that. I got a different opinion of that. Oh, okay, no problem. And you can express your point to it. That's why I like having this. Because every now and then we might get the rogue individual to come in and be like, hey, see what we're chatting about, and be like, hey, they want to put their 2 cents in. I want them to be able to feel that they can. And just like everybody else, they can have the same respect given to everybody else. It's just when you don't give the respect to other people and you expect them just to listen to only your viewpoint, well, it's one thing to listen to it, but you also got to listen to the other person's rebuttal. So, and then you can say, I just don't agree with it, or I do agree with it. I see your point to some of the things for it and why you feel that way, but I just still don't have that same view because of this, and this. And that's what I think people are slowly starting to get back to, and not that immediate defense mechanism. I mean, it's like watching some of those Ben Shapiro or Jordan Peterson videos and stuff, and a lot of the stuff gets very defensive towards them at first when they try to answer a question that somebody asked them, and before they get a chance, they try to get shut down, and they quickly explain, well, this or that. Right, just like me, I know a lot of teachers who have Facebook page and Instagram where they post things that make fun of children, and they get tons of likes and gobs of followers for it, but I refuse to stoop to that level, so I don't have near their following that they do. I keep it clean. I still post things for Christmas and such that people may get offended by, but I won't stoop to the level of making fun of children. And that's perfectly fine. And I think that's good, because that's what your whole purpose of what you did that for. And I think that's what makes things not so muddy either. What would Jesus do? That's correct. That's another thing. And that's what I believe in that. What Jesus would do, I could probably take a guess. Jesus would probably listen to you. He'd probably listen to everything you have to say, and then he would give you his take on it. And you could either take it or leave it. And that's how he put it. At least that's what I get out of it from it's one of those things where he wouldn't just shut you down from what your thoughts were. I have a feeling he would listen to you. And then he would give his aspiration and advice and his bit to it. And then you could either take it or you could leave it. So, either way. But yeah. Green apple. I think we'll use green apple for the pants. So. with Jesus and do it in a kind way. Like I said, he would explain it, is what I feel. And, that would be it. This is the reason why, and this is what I feel on that. Same thing. And if you can either take it or you can leave it, just like his scripture. If you take it, you take it. If you leave it, you're going to leave it. Now, you still got to handle all the little cause and effects on what you take and what you leave, what you put into your life. So, that's the one thing. You got to make those decisions. So, and it would behoove you to listen to what everybody thinks and feels, so that way you can have a better understanding. So, I'm not saying that I'm right on how Jesus would do it, but I'm saying that this is how I feel he would do it, based on my knowledge and experience. So, could be wrong, don't know, but that's what I believe. Because I'm not him. Can only base it off of what I've read and what I perceive from his writings, or what people have written about him and his actions. So, and that's what we'll go from. Exactly, yep. So, alright, let's do a lighter, maybe we'll do a warm gray, or maybe we'll do a lighter cool gray. Let's see, what do we got? Let's do our neutral gray. I believe you're right, as there are examples in the Bible that explain things with his views. That's correct. And if I was a very well-versed individual, like my pastor is, he'd be able to quote the spots on it. But I'm not that versed. I'd have to go and research it and look it up and be able to get back with you on certain things. So, unfortunately, I'm not that. I don't have BR4. Let's do BR4. Yeah, burnt umber. That should work for the belt. What's funny is I look in the camera and the camera's got the hair like bright orange from what I see on this screen. But it's really not bright orange. So maybe it just might be the fact of the lighting on it. Funny how people know right from wrong. Their choice. That's right. There we go. Let's see if we can give that a little bit of a... Yeah, I think it might be this overhead light. Let me turn that off, see if that... Whoop, no, that made it dark. Yeah, this lighting just... Maybe I can change the tone of it. Let's see here. That's the brightness. Can I change the... That's cool. That's warm. Maybe... Kind of gives it a little bit of a yellowish. I don't have memorized verses memorized myself. Alright, not bad. And it's 8:56. Cool. So we did a little piece there. Now let me go ahead and sign this real quick. That way I don't forget. Do a little KP. Kim Possible. 2/2/2023. There we go. She looks great. Thanks, Bri. Alright, I'm going to either start inking this one or I'm going to scan it in and I think we'll digital paint that one. I got most of this guy inked up. I got the umbrellas done up and stuff like that. We're going to digitally scan it and do a little bit of cleanup on that. And then I think we're going to digitally do some digital work on that one for also. So that probably be for next week. So I got to get all my stuff set up back for the standing area. Alright, gloves off. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, or everyone for hanging out with me, not just guys. That's a slang term that I use because I'm old school. But thank you everyone for hanging out with me tonight and drawing, or just hanging out watching and having chat, whether it be on our political views or movies or whatnot. I'm glad you guys got to chill out, and enjoy, kind of have our own little fun time. but we can catch you Tuesday. You have a good weekend too. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. If you're down near me and stuff, it's going to probably be a little rainy tomorrow, and I think Saturday might not be too bad. I'm hoping not, at least, because I want to try and pull my old truck out and get her painted. If we do, I'll post some pictures definitely of that. But if not, you guys have yourself a great night. God bless, and let's create something together, okay? Take care now.